everybody, I'm Sharna Jackson and I am the author of the High Rise Mystery series of books. If you don't know what High Rise Mystery is, I hope you find out soon, but let me tell you what they're about. So, High Rise Mysteries follow the story of two young sisters, Nick and Norva, who live on an estate in southeast London. It's called the Try, and murders seem to be happening on the Try. In the first book, High Rise Mystery, Nick and Norva find the body of their art teacher dead in the bins on the hottest day of the year, and they quickly have to find out who did it because it looks like somebody close to home has been implicated. And then the year after, I wrote Mic Drop, and Mic Drop came out in April, came out early this month, and it's again on the Try with Nick and Norva, and a famous pop star comes back to town. And she films a music video on the Try, and an accident happens. But Nick and Norva know that it's no accident, and they quickly get to the bottom of what happened. And so I love murder mysteries. I love them. I don't like murdering. I love murder mysteries because they're games that you solve, and they make the reader feel very clever. And it's not about the murder, it's about serving justice and solving the crimes and righting the wrongs, which is what makes it really fun. So a murder mystery is quite a tricky thing to plot out and to make tight, because you need to know where all your characters are all the time so you can keep track of them. Because if your reader is reading along and they think, aha, it must be that person because they've gone missing, but you just forgot to write about them, then you're in trouble. So I follow a system that I've designed that you can have to help me write good murder mystery stories. And I call it the 3 Ps. The 3 Ps stand for people, plot, and place. I'll break them down a little bit for you so you can try make your own murder mystery. So these are the things you need to think about. So with people is quite obvious. Who are the characters in your story? You need your detectives, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6. I'm just not going to count. You need your detectives. You need a victim. You need your suspects. And you need the culprit. The culprit is the person who did the murder. And you need to figure out how all those people relate to each other and where there is tension, because that makes the story exciting. You also, maybe, depending on the world that your story lives in, have some other characters, some other people around the place who make the world really rich. So that's people. Place is really exciting because you can have your murder mystery anywhere. So I've set mine on an estate, but of course you have very famous detective stories that happen on trains. I'm really interested in writing one that happens on a boat. And in the countryside, and just so think about anywhere. It could be the moon, it could be Mars, it could be a little colony who live on the bottom of a shoe, it could be in one room. But whatever you do, don't make it too big, in terms of you need the space to be quite closed off, even if the world is big, because if anybody could have walked through the crime scene or could have been there, then it makes the mystery kind of boring. Because if anyone in the world could have done it, then where is the mystery? You need to make it quite small. And then the third point is plot. So plot is what happens in your story. So if you're going to write a murder mystery, my top tip is to really think about what happens at every point and write it out in bullet points first so you can see what's happening. And another tip is to make sure you keep track of all your characters so you know where they are, and then you can use that spreadsheet to work out your plot. So that's what I do. That's what I did when I was writing Mic Drop. I wrote it all out in bullet points first, which just said, Nick and Norva go here. Then they go here. Then they meet this person. Then they do this. Oh, and then this happens. Exclamation mark. The murder happens. Ba, 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 ba. And you just write it out and you keep track and you keep thinking about all the steps that would be in, and then so you can insert red herrings, and red herrings are distractions in your story, so your reader thinks that that might be the truth, but it's not. So the 3 Ps: people, plot, and place. They are the key to making a murder mystery. Okay, it was really great to see you all. Take care.